It's Sunday. It's Mark Pyers. It's real
I was walking down the road today, looking for another way
to ease my mind
and help my living.
It's Real Talk. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pyers Real Talk. I'm here to help you make smarter moves, to amplify your current state, and I'm here with you on Sunday night. Day 433 in a row of the Mark Pyers Real Talk show. And it's International Women's Day. How cool is that? Sky's View is on now on YouTube. I love it. Guys, if you're on Instagram, if you're on any other channel, head over to YouTube, subscribe, and ding the bell. I appreciate it if you do that. And now Christian's there because it's a much better experience. I'm here in the living room tonight, sitting on the bench. Little real talk with you. And we got a pretty action-packed week coming up. I've got Dr. Josh Shajan coming in this Thursday to sit down with me and discuss coronavirus. I also want to talk to Josh about a lot of other things, kind of like bedside manner, you know. I'm thinking that positivity has a place everywhere. And I'm curious to see what Josh has to say about that. But I really want to hear his take on the coronavirus, what we need to do. I know, obviously, wash your hands. Don't put your hands in your mouth. Don't put your hands in your eyes. Isma, I'm so glad to see you on. How's everybody doing? It's Sunday night, day 433 in a row of the Mark Pyers Real Talk Show. This Thursday, Josh Shajan, Dr. Josh Shajan, coming into the Real Talk studio to talk coronavirus. And it's the thing that I'm most worried about right now, guys, and I'm sure you are too. I got 3 young kids, and I'm a real estate agent, so I'm out there every day, like, with people. Today I had an open house again, and I'm there with people. Some of them I could tell were sick. And I'm like trying to keep my distance, you know, and I don't want to be rude, but I also don't want to catch coronavirus. I'm just saying. So in general, I did this a move I haven't really done much before at open houses, but this is a vacant open house. So I sat like in the bench and just kind of let people come in. Oh yeah, why don't you sign in over there? How about that? There's a pen over there that I'm never going to touch again, but go over and grab it and sign in real quick. And then go and walk through, and I'll kind of tag along, you know? And, you know, it's just a scary thing, guys. It's a very scary thing. And I noticed some person went to go and give me the, you know, I said, Governor Ned Lamont said we shouldn't be doing that. That's my out! Governor Ned Lamont said do not shake hands. No more shaking hands. There is something to live for, guys. And listen, there's something to die for, but it's not the coronavirus. I don't want it. I don't want you to get it. You know, my brother said something interesting today. He said, why don't we all just stay in for 2 weeks? Because it's like a 2-week incubation period. We need Zabrowski's power here. Check this out. You guys ready for it? Woo-hoo. That woo-hoo gets me every time, guys. So this Thursday, make sure you tune in. It's going to be about 5:30 on Thursday from the studio. Dr. Josh Shajan, he's coming in to talk coronavirus with me. And we're going to talk about lots of other things. I've actually been looking forward to getting Josh in for a while. I've got other guests planned to come in. I want to start doing this on a weekly basis. So if you have any entrepreneurs, you have any business owners that you want to see on the show, send them my way. I'll reach out and see if they want to, you know, come on one day. It's funny. Josh was like, when would be a good time? I'm like, well, I'm live every day. So you just tell me when you want to come by, you know, it's around 5:30. So whatever works best. Is that my man DJ I see over there? And Patience and all my people and Michael. Oh, you guys are awesome. You get my heart. I love it. If you're on, say hello. You can also get on the Discord server now. My man DJ's over here, and he got on Discord yesterday. I think it's a way for you guys to all communicate together and do some real talk online while we're here on the show every day. So join that. Go over there and check it out. DJ should be there. And listen, guys, this is a very exciting time coming up because, I mean, basically, it's such a scary world that we're living in. But people should really be paying attention to what's going on. So I think they're going to be online a little bit more than they typically are. You know, I happen to realize I have a show that runs for an hour to an hour and a half every single day. And nobody's tuning in for an hour to an hour and a half every single day because they have so much going on. But I started thinking about, like, what happens if this progresses like they're saying it could and may? What happens if we're all sitting inside and we're just waiting for this thing to find its way to us? And what are we going to do with that time? I think we're going to spend a lot of it online. So maybe we'll get more people tuning in for a longer period of time when we're doing that. But I'm worried about everything. I started thinking I saw a bunch of my friends today posting about the economy, the stock market. And then I started hearing things like layoffs. And I started thinking to myself, wait a second. Isn't it interesting to you? It's been less than a month, right? And to hear how many people are all of a sudden realizing that this could really have a financial impact, and they may have to start laying people off. Now, here's the scary thing for me as a real estate agent, someone who needs to sell homes, for me to have clients who all of a sudden are calling and saying, you know what, Mark, we're going to hang back a little bit. We have to see how this thing plays out because my employer sent a company-wide memo that said they're going to be laying people off. I don't know if I'm going to be one of those guys. So we can't buy something right now. We're going to just wait a couple weeks. We're going to wait a month. We're going to see what happens with this coronavirus thing. Now, I haven't had that happen. I'm just saying, if it starts to happen, what do we do when you can't sell property because their jobs are in limbo? It's a very, very frightening thing that's coming. It's not even the virus that's the scariest thing. It's the economic fallout. It's the amount of people that may be without a job or a company that needs to cut in order to try to make money again. And the airlines, you hear all these airlines, they're about to shutter. And it just makes you think how short a period of time things have to be bad for all these companies to say, we may not make it another day, another week, another month. Let's see. DJ saying something. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to get this back. I think DJ said he sent that message on Discord. Let me see if I can put my glasses on real quick and take a look at what's going on over here. I'll see if I can log into Discord in a few minutes here. So guys, I want to play you guys something today. I made a walkthrough of my new property in Westport while I was there today for my open house. I'm going to play it for you real quick. Check this out. Let's go. Ready? Oh, now I can interact. Sorry. Come on. What's up, everybody? I'm just about to get to my open house. You should stop by 147 North in Westport, Connecticut. Check it out. All right, this is it. Fireplace, gorgeous bathroom, 3 more bedrooms upstairs, a cupola with lighting, so at night you get that dramatic effect. Laundry on the 2nd floor, gorgeous bathroom here. Full bathroom ensuite over here. Don't forget the finished basement. Not sure why it looks all shuttery like that, but that's really weird. As you can see, this place has everything. I'll be out here till 4 o'clock today, but you can make an appointment to come and see this amazing house any day. Shoot me a message.
Real Talk.
That's it. Oops. That's it, people. That's it. What do you think? Now, it came across all shuddery and weird. I don't know why it was looking all slow-mo like that, but it could just be my server. I'm not really sure, but it wasn't really shot like that. I did get the fast forward thing going on a few things, like into the cupola and down the stairs into the basement. It's kind of cool. I'd like to do some cool edits in the process. Actually, I realized that in the moment. I'm like, I think I could fast forward this thing and make it happen. Anyway, so that's my walkthrough from my new listing in Westport, Connecticut. If you know anybody looking, it's an amazing value. That's a great example of what I'm talking about. This is a property that should have sold the day I put it on the market. And I had a decent turnout today, but not as many as you should for a totally turnkey house in Westport, Connecticut. Walk to the schools. You can't walk to the schools from every location, but this one, and most people love and jump for brand new, you move your stuff in. That's all you're doing. You don't have to do a thing. Don't even have to paint. Just drop your stuff and you start enjoying. And this is one of those homes. Now, if you know anybody with, for example, someone who has bad knees, someone who's looking for a really cool setup for their grandkids, that type of thing, there is a first floor master. You could set up the second floor with a master as well and have one on each floor. First floor master could become a formal again like it was. But anyway, it is a gorgeous house and I'm really pumped to have it on the market. I just like to sell properties. I don't like to keep things on the market. I'm not into having trophy properties. I've had them before. There's nothing exciting about saying you have a $15 million property. It's only nice to say you've sold a property that's valuable, not that you have it on the market. Nobody cares about that. Most importantly, you. It's just a weight on your shoulders when you have that much responsibility. I had two at the same time, $32.5 million from this one client, and the guy beat me up for a year. Singaporean, crazy businessman, just each week I'm on a Skype call. They're in Hong Kong. I'm in my kitchen here and just getting screamed at. Here, do this, do that. And it's like a group of people. It wasn't just me and the guy. I'd have like 6 people in a room in Hong Kong, 10 a.m. there, 10 o'clock p.m. here. And it was just barking orders at me. Okay, you got to do this, and we have to put an event on. Everything was about events. Okay, an event here, you have to do an event for this, an event for that. And that guy over there went to the bathroom. Let's put an event on. Let's get an event out there and make people know about it. I'm like, what? But that's what it was about. But each week, every Sunday, got to the point where I was like, guys, look, here's a good example. A market is a market. You cannot change that, okay? If you, for example, pay $9.8 million for a property, you can't turn around in 2 months and say, I'm going to put it on for 15 and I'll sell it. Especially if you know the property history. And this specific property had been on the market for 6 years before he came along and bought it for 9.8. So anybody who wants, I'm going to tell you the whole story real quick because we have a split second. I'm going to tell you this. Okay, listen. I went in once to see this guy who owned this ridiculous property. It was 2 houses on one property. One of them, it was a house with a pond. The other thing was a sports complex. It was a house that was 3 levels. It had a basketball court inside. There's a video of me on TikTok doing a slam dunk as Michael Jordan, and that was done in that garage. And it was an amazing place. Golf simulator. They had a bowling alley. They had everything there. And I had the listing. Bottom line was, the way I got this listing wasn't the normal way. The original owner, had this property, and I had a buyer who was looking at properties in like the $5 to $10 million range, and I had already shown him everything. There was nothing else to be seen, so I started calling on properties that had expired, canceled, that type of thing, and I came across this amazing property. I called the owner. He says, "Yeah, sure, you could come on over and show it." He allowed me to sign a 1-day listing in order to show my buyer the property so I could protect myself. It's something you always want to do. If you're going to show a property that's not on the market, protect yourself. Because if this seller meets this buyer and they decide to cut you out of the picture because you didn't have paperwork signed, you got nothing. You have nothing to stand on. So you make sure if you're going to bring a buyer in to see a property and a seller says, yeah, sure, bring him on by. You say, okay, I'm just going to bring some paperwork by, because if they like this house, we're doing a deal. And I'm part of that deal. Obviously, hello, I called you. But people have a very short memory. Oh, wait, who called me again on that? Was it Mark who called me, or did I find this buyer directly somehow? Oh, if there's a way for me to save that percentage and just go right to this buyer, they're going to do that. So make sure you protect yourself. Don't forget that. That's the most important thing, is to make sure that you always have your paperwork signed. Because you work hard. I work hard for people, and I don't get anything until I sell something. And if I'm going to go out there and do the work, and then at the end of it, they're like, oh, well, it's not worth my time. It's not worth your time. So make sure, if someone's interested in getting something done, that they sign with you. Okay. Anyway, I go in to see this guy. He's like, look, I'm not going to sell my house. I'm not going to list my house, at least. It's available. If you want to try to sell it off market, nobody's coming to me besides this one guy and saying, hey, I want to buy this type of house. I said, let me bring it to the open market. At the time, I had just gotten the drone, so I was getting on TV a lot. I was like, buddy, let's bring this on TV. So he said something to me the first time I met him, and it stuck out. He said, everybody comes in, or they call me and they want my listing, and then I never hear from him again. I never see him again. They never inquire a second time. It's like a one and done, and he's like, nobody has the ability to keep going. It's the weirdest thing. And I heard him say that. I took note, and I started popping in to see him every month. I went in to see him 3 weeks, a month later. Every time I went in, I thought he was going to show me the door. He had assistants. I thought his assistants would be like, sorry, he doesn't have time to see you today. But every time they were like, hold on, let me see if he's available. Oh, he's just on a phone call. Just take a seat. And they were very nice. We'd have a nice conversation. And then they say, oh, go on in. And I'd sit down, and this man would give me pearls of wisdom. And my favorite story from him was, he was a young insurance salesman. He's selling insurance to doctors in Idaho. He's the young guy. He's trying to make a name for himself, right? He goes in to see this doctor. Doctor says, here's what I got right now. Tell me what I'm missing. Tell me what I need. He goes through the whole thing. He says, look, do you have any more employees since this was done? No, I don't. Any new kids? Do you have any more children? No, just the one I had. Okay, well, what you have here is sufficient. If you have any of those things change, give me a call. I'll come back and take another look at it for you. No, take another look now. Sir, I just looked at it. No. Look again. You missed something. Sir, I'm not going to just sell you something. What you have is whoever sold you your plan gave you a good plan. Let me know if anything changes. I'd love to win your business at that point. Because he had integrity, because he didn't try to just stick one over on the guy and get a little bit more, the guy said, I've never had anybody try to not sell me more insurance. He got all the business. And the moral of his story was, do the right thing, show up, hustle, and things will come your way eventually. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but just keep doing that and people will take note. And when they want to do business, they're going to call you because they want to be handled that way. They want someone who's going to go the extra mile, that's going to put the extra effort in. And I went and saw him month after month after month after month. About a year later, I go in and he's packing. He goes, we sold the house. He sold the house. My heart. He goes, but don't worry, the guy wants to flip it. I'm like, what? You tried to sell it for 6 years. You finally sold it to this guy. He wants to flip it? He said, yeah. I told him whenever he's ready to sell it, there's one agent to call. And he said, this guy came and kept coming. He said, I want you to call this guy and at least interview him. And that's how I wound up getting in the door for that interview and winding up with that property. But my point is, you need to go after something and you need to continue and don't give up so easily. If you hear no, it may not be a no unless it's really a no, but if someone opens a door for you and says, yeah, come on back, you better go back. You better not say, oh yeah, that guy said, no, he said nobody ever comes back. Everybody asks and then they never come back. I took note and I kept going back and he never said no to me. He always kept the door open for another visit. And I wound up getting a listing that was actually a nightmare for me, but still it happened because I put that extra effort in. Anyway, listen, I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, Thursday, 5:30, Dr. Josh Shajan will be on the show to discuss the coronavirus. And we got lots of other stuff planned. I had an idea of putting this, I put all the Dr. Evil bits, the first 6 in a row for you guys. I was going to play it for you tonight, but I think I'll do that for tomorrow. And listen, just have yourselves a great night. I really appreciate you. If you have any topics for tomorrow, let me know. It's going to be day 434 tomorrow? Yeah, 434 tomorrow. Make sure you tune in, probably around 5:30 tomorrow. Have a great night. It's Mark Pyers. And it's Real Talk. See you tomorrow.